Hello, 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 and happy Sunday to everybody. This is Joanne's Healing Within TV show, and I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Deck, the owner of Holistic Fitness, where I am today, excited to be here. I'm a mom and a wife. And we are in 2022, so this is the year to focus on health, fitness, wellness, and to be sure you schedule it into your calendar every day for the entire year. So there's no excuses to missing it or I didn't have time to do it. You have to schedule it on your calendar because you are extremely important. You have to take care of you. And that's what this year's energy is all about. So whether you're conscious of this energy or not, every one of us, I am sure, is feeling this amazing energy of 2022. Lots of lots of twos in that number. There's no threes. I don't think any of us are going to be alive long enough to see lots of threes in our year. Hey, maybe, you never know. We'll see how we all go this year with getting healthy and being our best selves. Anyway, remember to like, share, and comment on today's show because we want to share this out. We want the entire world to get a chance to hear what goes on Joanne's Healing Within. And know that you can definitely watch us right here, live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And for those who've missed an episode or two or three or whatever, you can catch us on Roku as well. So remember, like, share, and comment on today's show. Now, before we dive into all the greatness, let me just do a little housekeeping to start off with. If you missed last week's show, I had an amazing guest on, Diana Brad, where she spoke about going green. And even more importantly, in reference to how to recycle things in regards to your home and outside, so everything could be more natural for our own breathing process, especially our water for that matter. So if you missed last week's episode, that's an opportunity for you to go and check it out on either Roku, Facebook, Twitter, or even YouTube for that matter. So let's dive into all the advertising sponsors that help this show run week after week after week. And there's a whole slew of them. Oh my God, there's so many of them. As I was writing it out this morning, I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of advertising sponsors. So yay for you advertising sponsors. I want to start off with right off the back with CJ Ives Lopez. She is the host and publisher of the Author's Porch and the Author's Porch podcast and magazine. I'll talk a little bit more about her later. And then we also have Nick Rafter. He is our editor, journalist, and writer, but he's also our agent. He helps you to find your new home and new apartment for that matter. And as things start to move energetically into February, you might find yourself wanting to get a new home or a new apartment. Then we have Kendrick Greer, one of my favorite astrologers, which in fact, he'll be coming back on the show again real soon. So stay tuned for that. Then Joe Monkman. He is a shamanic healer, practitioner, and wellness advocate. We also have Susan Joy Mitchell for that matter. She's a self-publisher, author, illustrator of 3 amazing books. So go check her out as well. Lisa Nice. She's a physical therapist, a mom, a single mom of 5, I believe. She's also the beauty consultant of Mary Kay, and she still is looking for 15 faces. So if you want to be a face and get that makeover, connect with Lisa Nice. And then we also have, last but not least, our two amazing hosts of Intuition of the Soul. We have Kitty Foss and Amy Martin that are going to actually be here today. Super excited. And I'm just making sure I didn't miss anyone on my list here, making sure I have everyone, and I think I do. So anyway, now that I got all the advertising sponsors out of the way, not to say it that way, but yeah, to say it that way. Anyway, let's talk about the weather. Is that not what you're here for? Is the weather? The cosmic energy weather, that is. There's a lot going on as we move into the last, give or take, week and a half of January. I cannot believe we are literally the last week and a half of the first month of 2022 already. So what's been going on for you? How have you been feeling in the month of January? I don't know about you guys, but for me, things have been feeling a little slow and sluggish. I feel like just as my motor starts to move, something happens and I slow down. Like the other day, I think Friday night or Saturday night, forget which one. But I had so much creative energy going on that I created a flyer, I created a video, and then now all of a sudden, a day or two later, I'm feeling blah again. So my question to you is, are you feeling blah again? Or have you been feeling blah all of January? Good news is, as we start to move into February, things are going to start to rev up. And one of the reasons why those things are going to start revving up is by the end of this month, by January 29th, and I'm going to come back to that in a second after I speak of this, so hang in there with me. As of January 29th, Venus will be going direct. Venus has been retrograde for about 5 months now. Venus is our planet of love, relationship, and money, and it's going to go direct. Anytime we have a planet going direct, things start to flow a little bit more. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but since April of 2021, we've had about all of our planets. One planet or another has been retrograde since April of 2021. And we are literally moving into the direction where eventually there's going to be no planets in retrograde. So as of January 29th, Venus goes direct. And as I said, I was going to flip-flop here. On January 25th, Mercury, which is in retrograde, is going to do like a revisit in its retrograde in Capricorn energy. And what that's going to help us with, and I use the word help, is it's going to take us back to the month of December. There's something in December that we need to work on. Every one of us might have something different to be working on, but on that particular day, Mercury is going to revisit Capricorn energy, where right now it's in Aquarius. So when it flips back to a Capricorn, every one of us might be doing like a little rebooting in reference to communicating, scheduling, planning, traveling, and of course technology. So whatever needs to be changed or reviewed on the 25th, please note that, put that on your calendar so you're aware. But then as of February 4th, Mercury will also go direct. Now, Mercury retrograde has a shadow period. So when it does go direct, there's a 2-week layover, shall we say, that Mercury is still sort of lagging. So it's not quite ready to do any activities just yet. But then give and take directly after the 2-week period. So give and take February 14-ish about, 14, 15-ish, the energy will be running smoothly just in time of when our zodiac signs will be changing from the sun energy out of Aquarius and into Pisces. So that should be some quite interesting energy that we're going to be moving into. So things are going to start to flow a little more rapidly. However, just because energetically things are going to start flowing a little more rapidly, that does not necessarily mean you're going to be ready to flow that fast as well. So I just want you to be prepared that you might start to feel like the energy is flowing, but you might still feel a little sluggish at that point. But the good news is, as we move into that Pisces season, things are going to start really flowing very nicely. So what I'd like you to do for this week is I'd like you to really start planning out what you would like the next 6 months to look like for you. And on February 2nd, is a new moon. I'm going to be talking more about that on my radio show. So what I like for you to do is come join me on my radio show, which takes place the first Wednesday in February at 3 p.m. This particular time is going to be 3:33 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a real wicked reason to why that's happening. And that's just because I've scheduled myself to be on a couple of podcasts prior to my show. So I just needed it to work out that way. Anyway, so 3:33 p.m. Eastern time for my radio show for February. And there's no flyer on that, which I completely forgot to do, and I just thought about it now. But anyway, want to pull a card because I do have 2 amazing guests that I do want to bring in, but I do want to set the energy, the tone for today. So what I'd like you to do is just take a minute, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and just ask yourself, how would you like to move forward, and what chakra do you need to work on as we do this motion flowing forward? And interesting on the card that is showing up here, it is in reverse. So when a card shows in reverse, it means we need to pay attention to the message, but we also need to pay attention to the chakra. And that chakra is the third eye. And an interesting chakra to show up for this, because it really is about the things that you speak about becomes your reality. So what is it that you are thinking about? What is it that you are visualizing becomes your reality. So if there's something going on in your life right now that's not what you really want to be in your reality, change your direction, change your focus, which brings us right to the affirmation. Focus. What are you focused on? What are you focused on? I like to remind you to stay focused on the things that you desire, stay focused on the positive things that's going on in your world right now, because the more you stay focused with positive, the more positive things will show up. The number 1 and 3, which is 13, 1 is a new way of focusing. 3 is how we create, how we communicate, what we listen to. Remember, as I just said, what we speak about is what we create. Our words are extremely powerful and magical, and they manifest like this. So pay attention to what it is you are actually speaking about. 1 and 3 is a 4. So that 4 energy is really about your foundation, about finding that balance, about being stabilized, and more importantly, being disciplined enough to do the work that you wish to do in that 4 energy, and being patient enough to wait for it to show up. What often happens to many of us is that if something doesn't manifest like yesterday, right away we start downsizing it in reference to like, oh, that's not going to happen for me. I don't deserve it. I'm not good enough. And that delays the process. So please do not do that. Stay focused on what it is you are looking to create and know that it's already happening for you. And when we think about that number 4 in astrology, it's the 4th house energy. It is about your home. It is about family. It's about nurturing that 4th house energy, but it's also associated with mother, your mother, the connection you have with your mother, but how you see yourself as a mother, and how are you mothering that project that you are focused on creating is a good question. So I'm going to leave you with that, as I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and just stay tuned on that energy, and I will be right back.
Hi, my name is Lisa Nice, and I'm an independent beauty consultant for Mary Kay. I'm also a single mom of 5 and a physical therapist, so I love Mary Kay because it fits so nicely into my lifestyle. New year, new you. I'm looking for 15 faces, and it's a free either facial or a glam look. You get free samples, and you get entered to win a $200 Beautiful Kate Spade bag. So if anything about this commercial has interested you, like number 1, the opportunity, number 2, be a face. So call me, 908-546-0266. Try it, you're gonna love it.
Have you had COVID, the jab, booster, taking weekly tests, or been around anyone who has? Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, the owner of Holistic Fitness located in Queens, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Stack. I would love to help you restore your immune system with Chakra Balance Reiki. I'm currently offering 3 and 6 month prescription plans. All sessions are available virtually and on site. To find out which plan best suits you, text 646-236-9155. I do look forward to helping you restore your immune system and getting onto the road of recovery. Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I have my 2 amazing guests here, but before I introduce or have them introduce themselves, just want to give a recap on our card of the day, which is the chakra. Very important to stay focused on is that 3rd eye, because this is a really magnificent time to focus and visualize those desires into your reality. So if you are focused on something that you do not want, change your direction. Focus on what it is and pretend that it's already happening, because as you pretend that it's happening, it will eventually happen. Whereas if you start downsizing it in reference to like, you don't have it, it's not here yet, I'm not going to get it, it delays the process. That 13, which is all about a 4. So in numerology, it really is about finding that balance so you can build that foundation and being disciplined enough so it can come to your reality, and being patient. Be patient. My word that follows me all the time. Patient, patient, patient. In astrology, it's also about your family, your home, and how you mother, because that's what I heard a little while ago, how you mother the project you're looking to manifest. And that's really important, because all of us who are mothers out there, we know how it is to have to take care. So it's the same thing with your projects that you're looking to manifest. You got to take care of that project in order for it to become your reality. So that's our card for today. And I want to keep it short because I have my amazing guests that they have so much to share. We could probably, if Bobby allows us, we could probably be on here for like 2 hours, but I'm sure Bobby's not going to allow that. So to start off with, my two hosts here, who are the hosts of Intuition of Your Soul, I have Amy. She's got her last name as a different last name. She confuses the shit out of me. Amy, what is your last name?
Well, that's just my middle name. I just go by Amy J. So it's Martin.
Thank you. I was going to say, because I know on the guest flyer I have you as Amy Martin. I'm like, did I screw this up or what?
No.
Because I'm really good for doing that. And then we also have Kitty Frost, and thank God she shortened her name, because she had her name was just as long as mine. Hello, Kitty. Thank you for being here. So let's start off with Amy. Just give a little introduction of who you are and what you do, and then we'll go to Kitty.
Okay. So I'm Amy J. And a few years ago, I kind of had a awakening, just started embracing my gifts, and I retired from public school education as a special education teacher. And I just started to embrace all the things that I've had all the years that I'd been on this earth, but hadn't really known what to do with them and to embrace them and that kind of thing. So Kitty and I started Intuition of the Soul, and it's a group, and Kitty will talk about this as well, but it's just a place for you to come in to learn about anything spiritual, no matter where you're at on your journey, what you're interested in, what you consider your gifts are. I'm very intuitive. I'm an empathic, intuitive. I feel everything from other people, so definitely protect myself from there. I also am like a psychic medium, and I teach some classes on how to find your purpose, about transformation and finding your purpose so that you can live that life that you are intended to live, your soul's journey. So I think that sums me up. Maybe some other things thrown in there too, a grandma and that kind of stuff. But.
Exactly. And Amy, you also have a course that you just created, and it's available where? And what's the name of the course?
Okay. It's Wake Up Your Purpose, Transformational Technique to Healing. And it's available on Udemy right now.
Good for you. Yeah. Congratulations.
I do it in person sometimes, but right now I've done it on person. Right now I'm just kind of taking a break to pursue some other interests and other classes, but you can find it on Udemy.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. And Miss Kitty, tell us about you and what you do.
Well, I'm the co-founder of Intuition of the Soul. It was a group we created, so there were sacred spaces for women, especially, not only women, men who are called to meet. Joanne's a part of it. We meet and we make connections with each other, and we network. Joanne has been gracious enough to even come on and do a program for our group. So we have an educational component because we're both former teachers. I call myself a storytelling astrologist, which I had to be kind of pushed kicking and screaming into. I have been using the stars and reading for years and years and years, but I was a closet astrologer, because I wasn't as brave to stand up and say, hey, I know this works. And then so as that same kind of awakening as we all have been evolving, it's like, no, it's the reading of archetypes. I tell you the story of your chart more than predictions. I tell you what you came in with, the kind of the conversation you came in with, and help you kind of help organize. I have another group called Optimize with the Moon and Stars that I run with Stephanie Getz, and it is a private Facebook group where we take your chart and we meet monthly And we go over it and we work at how you manifest using the energies in your chart with the phases of the moon. And we teach you about your chart. We probably have 4 or 5 meetings a month. We have a group, but it's really to be very active in using your chart and taking a look at it. And again, that one's called Optimize with the Moon and Stars. And so, you know, Amy and I continue to evolve our own separate groups, but also Intuition of the Soul is our primary focus with really, we found that there wasn't a space for people to meet or experiment or we have a YouTube channel just like you, and you can see Joanne's wonderful program she did for us. So they're always free and they're always available. And we've had some amazing guests over the years. We have felt blessed. It really has been an amazing process. And now look where we are. We're sitting
It has. It's been an amazing journey. And if I could just put another plug in there as well, Kitty and I are going to teach a class together. It's kind of like a Spirit 101 where you're just, for people that are just getting into that, some, you know, some things that you need to know that we kind of learned by, you know, trial by fire, like to say, you know, like, oh, okay, I've got to do that. I didn't know that. So it's kind of one of those where you're just starting to discover some of your gifts or not sure, you know, what to do. We're going to be offering that one later in February. So I thought I'd put that plug in.
It's called Boosting Your Brilliance. And it really is to talk about the ethics and the practices that you could kind of, and we've learned from our amazing host here that we've every speaker that comes, we get a pearl of wisdom to add to.
Beautifully said.
Yeah. Awesome. I love the fact that you're bringing in that new course, that new class, especially now, because I do believe with, at least for the last 2 years, with everything that's been going on with the pandemic and all this isolating and quieting down, that there's so many more people who are, I like to use the word, awakening into their spiritual gifts and may not really know how to use those spiritual gifts, may not even realize they have a spiritual gift. They might actually be saying to themselves, what the hell is wrong with me? Why am I suddenly hearing voices and there's no one in the room? I remember the very first time I experienced that. And I was like, okay, well, and I kept saying, is there somebody there? And I knew I was alone. I'm like, is there? And I was hesitant to even say it because I didn't really want the voice to come back and say, well, yeah, I'm here. Because I'm like, is there somebody there? And in my head, I'm like, please don't answer me. Please don't answer me.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and then eventually, as it did answer, it was like, well, okay, there's no one here with me. So why am I having this conversation with no one? And until I really became aware that, oh, I'm actually talking to someone who's crossed over. I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like, okay, you know, and the funny part of it is there would be times that I would actually be having conversations. My husband would be in the next room and he'd shout out and say to me, are you speaking to me or are you speaking to your spirit people? I'm like, spirit people.
Yeah.
Okay, go about what you're doing. I'll talk to you. So, yeah. So I'm really grateful that you're going to be offering this course. Now, how can they find that course? Are you promoting it already?
We'll be putting it out this week. They can find it on Intuition of the Soul, both the public page and the private group page. The private group is free, guys. And we'll be putting it on Eventbrite as well. And Joanne, I think that that's just a perfect example if you're a person thinking about this. I, for years, walked into rooms going, I don't need to see you. I don't need to talk to you. Because I knew something else was going on and people would look at me, but I'm thinking, you know, so this really is the time that so many of us have looked back and went, wait a minute, there was something else going on there.
Exactly.
So, well,
it's funny
I
too.
didn't even realize that some of the things that were happening weren't normal, you know, that everybody wasn't doing it. Until one time I was talking to a friend and she goes, no, not everybody hears or sees those things. And I'm like, huh? Because it's just because it'd been happening for so long, it became part of a normal part of my existence. So I kind of just normalized it that everybody had those things. And she reassured me that everyone didn't. And then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I would like to actually say and sort of contradict what she's saying is I do believe everyone does. It's just that not everybody is aware that they do yet.
Yes.
And
true.
I think that's really the answer. And as to what Kitty was saying about how she would walk into a room and not want to hear nor see the spirit, I'm the total opposite. I want to see the person whom I'm talking to. I invite them because to me, it's like, okay, hearing that voice and just having that inner voice going on, it's like, okay, well, could you show me who you are? But be kind, come in slowly so you don't scare the hell out of me. Yeah. And when they come in, it's like, oh, wait a minute. I have no idea who the hell you are. Who can you identify? Because now I get to see, but some of who shows up is not necessarily anybody that I am familiar with, and not necessarily an ancestor. Some of these spirits that do show up and want to talk to me are people who are just showing up where I have to deliver messages to. People that I may not even know.
Right.
So that may happen too. And that's a whole nother show that I can actually share, but not for today.
No, but that's also a part of our class. Yes, because once you open, you don't know, who's going, because it's like you put a little sign out there, I'm open. Yes. And then the spirits come in and they might not be, familiar to you or be an ancestor or someone that you know.
If you remember the scene from Ghost,
yes,
when Whoopi opens up, that's exactly kind of what can happen.
Yeah.
The whole idea behind Spirit 101 is to learn some of those things that are tools to move you a lot farther. So you don't get the, and it is okay. I'm finally like, okay, if you're going to show yourself, but it is fine to say, I just want to hear you. And those are the kinds of things that, there's no, there's not a manual that says this is the progression. We all have different experiences. I mean, I knew that I was getting a lot of information via astrology. And interestingly enough, I was listening to the opening, Joanne. This next 2 weeks is a huge window of intuitive hits. Synchronicities are going to be showing up. And so strange things may happen, like I am sure I put the cap on that and it's not there. Those
Kitty, if I can interrupt you just a second, Kitty, only because we have to take a commercial break.
Sure.
And if we can come back on that and have that conversation when we return. But before we take the commercial break, Kitty, let them know how they can reach you.
You can reach us via email, intuitionofthesoul11@gmail.com, or you can find us again on Facebook. Just search Intuition of the Soul. There's both a public and a private page, and also on YouTube. So you can contact us any of those ways.
And I was going to ask Amy to do the same, but I think she has the same email address. So no sense in repeating it twice. Next time around, I'll have Amy say it. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. I wonder if Bobby died on me.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
There you go. I'm like, where's Bobby?
Hi, I'm Susan Menchel, author and self-publisher of 3 books, Visions, which is poetry, The Journey, which is more poetry, and Lucky the Starfish, which is for children, and I illustrated the book myself. If you'd like a book, you can get it at Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. And if
Hey guys, welcome. We are back on the Author Sports. I am so excited to be here with my co-host Anastasia. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. It's so good to see you again. We don't get to see each other very often. We might have to do this every week, right? Tonight we are also talking with Scott.
Hey, this is Joe Monkman, and I am a personal development trainer. And that means that I help people step into their leadership roles, take their place as a visionary, really understand their own mastery in the world so that they can really find their place at the buffet of life. And if you want to know more, you can find me on my Facebook page at Joe Monkman and joemonkman@gmail.com.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, remember to like, share, and comment, especially on today's show, as I have two amazing guests. They're the hosts of Intuition of the Soul. We were just having an amazing conversation, which you're going to have to come back and watch that, but do that later. And know you can watch on Roku if in case you missed the beginning of today's show. So when we were on a little while ago, Kitty started speaking about the energy that we're going into. So Kitty, take it away again.
Well, and just like we talked about it today on our Vibe of the Week, which Joanne was at, and you were talking about the same thing. This is that kind of getting from the stop and start to getting a little more slippery. But there's a lot of intuitive hits that are coming in this next couple of weeks. Venus goes direct. Then we have the new moon on the 1st, the year of the tiger begins. And then, so this whole next 2 weeks, there will be interesting synchronicities if you're aware enough to notice them. And they could be anything that, wait a minute, I saw that person over there, but now they're appearing over here. Or the top that you know wasn't on something appears back on it. Or all kinds of things are glitches are happening, and that's partially Mercury retrograde because it kind of that's that personal communication planet, and so that is all part of this energy that gets ready. And for the United States, we're getting ready for a big one. So with the Pluto transit happening in February, and so we're getting ready to start picking up speed. And remember, this time is to get ready to pick up speed, so that we know ourselves. So
yes. As Amy was saying earlier in Vibe of the Week, I think the term you were using, the slippery slope, I think you said?
Yes, slip and slide.
There you go, slip and slide. Yes. So Amy, if you can, just share a little bit about what you were talking about in Vibe of the Week, if you don't mind, or if you want to add a little something else to what Kitty was just saying.
Sure. Well, what I was talking about with the slip and slide is it felt like January we were on the slip and slide, and if you know what those are, those fun things that you go sliding through the water and in the summertime, but it felt like January's part of the slip and slide was sandpaper, or there was some friction, or some it wasn't as smooth. Okay, so you were stopping, there was some resistance. I felt a lot of resistance going into moving forward. And so I'm thinking that February is going to come in with more of the slip and slide, then is going to have oil on it. So it's going to move a little faster. There's going to be a little bit more momentum. But as Kitty said, you want to be ready for that. And in January, we still have a few days left of that. It feels like there's still some of that resistance, but not to get caught up in the fear of it, but more of just find out what it is, where it is, be very introspective about it. Okay, like, where's this showing up? And I find that if I go into my chakras, that really helps me locate where it is. Is it in my heart chakra? I've been feeling a lot of throat chakra and sacral chakra for the last few days, maybe for this past week, where that resistance has been showing up. So that helps you too, but to think about it and to think about how you might want to change that or how you might want to release it, but not with fear, but just with growth and expansion being the goal for it, so that when you hit the oil part of the slip and slide, you're ready to go. And so that's kind of what I was saying.
I love that. And it's interesting. I'm being guided to share this little piece of information based on what is coming in, as along with the new moon, we also have Chinese New Year coming in. And one of the things that we all, especially us women, because us women are always doing something in reference to like hairstyles or color or any of that stuff, makeovers for that matter. If you are looking to change your hairstyle, change your color, cut your hair, makeup, whatever it is, this is the week to do that. You do not want to do that next week during Chinese New Year. So Specific days would be this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. After Friday, you don't want to do anything that has to do with your vanity, at least for the entire week of the first week in February, because that energy could be a little wonky and it may not turn out the way you want it to turn out. So please, if you are looking to cut your hair, if you're looking to color your hair, change the style, get new makeup, whatever it might be. I already called into my hairdresser and said, I need to
get an appointment on Thursday.
Yeah, mine is on Wednesday. So yeah, so I'm ahead of the game, and I just wanted to share that out with every one of you, especially you ladies, because anytime we have new energy coming in, I'm always very cautious of when's the right time and when's not the best time. So yeah.
I love that.
And that's really kind of important because, well, first of all, starting the 31st, it's double Aquarian energy. And Aquarian energy is quirky. Aquarian energy is unusual, revolutionary, visionary. If somebody is going to do something wild, it's going to show up that week. And it's a very interesting week. It's a week of positive aspects. Or more easily, a lot of things called sextiling where you can activate the energy, a lot of conjunctions. So I can see exactly why you're saying that, because it could take on a life of its own much more easily than perhaps when things are a little more settled. And it pretty much stays that way all the way through Friday. And then Saturday, again, we have a little more of a balance. So there's a whole lot of really positive aspects. But remember, sometimes when aspects are positive, they can carry us away too. A lot of different things we can be, the way I'm being told, it's like an invisible minefield of poop. And you step in it, you can't see it, but it smells, and something's on. And that you can be activating things. It's to release and start to speed up. So there'll be a lot of things coming forward, but it's going to be an interesting week, that first week in February. We certainly hit the ground running. So
yeah, well, thank goodness for that, because for me anyway, the month of January, and I think I was saying this in one of my lives earlier today, where the month of January for me was it was weird, because there would be days where I had a lot of energy and was very creative and out there and doing. And then after I've done that, then there would be days directly after where I was like, oh shit, like I don't feel like doing anything. Can I just stay in bed? In fact, today was one of those days where I could have very well stayed at home and did my show from my kitchen, which I would have had beautiful orange walls. But my consciousness was like, no, maybe you should go to your studio where your gorgeous studio is and all the weights are behind you. And that's where you should be doing your show. So I would really had preferred to just stay home and in the warm house as opposed to traveling out. But I made sure I hate to say it this way, but I motivated my ass to get up out of bed. To do.
Oh, that's been January for sure.
Yeah, and that's just what I felt like with January. It's like, oh God.
Well, it's first of all, it starts with that Capricorn structure and boundaries. Yes. And, this is a little this Aquarius that we just started this week is a little premonition, everybody, about the years to come, the energy to come, how it can start like this, like when your engine is, but eventually it just starts to warm up and move. And yes, we've been talking about that, this sluggish energy. And at the same time, it's because I think we have let go of a lot of things and we're waiting to put the new ones in, and to be aware of that. Like this is health is, all of a sudden I'm really getting called to look at exactly what am I putting in my body, because what I need to fill all this stuff I'm clearing out with is still a choice. What am I paying attention to?
Exactly.
That's why I like your focus card.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I thought it was appropriate too. So with all that being said, like I said, we run on commercials here. Amy, let everyone know how they can reach both of you.
Okay. Intuition of the Soul at 11@gmail.com is our email address. We have a website and a Facebook group that's private, but it's free, of the same name, Intuition of the Soul. And we also have a YouTube of the same name, Intuition of the Soul, where you can go and find Joanne and our other presenters on there as well.
Excellent. And I just want to give a shout out because there's a few people watching us live. We have Lisa Nice, We have some gentleman that I cannot say his last name, so my apologies. We have Mary that says late to the party, but she's here and she says hello. Robin, who's here with us. Sue, yes, yes, yes. So thank you for all watching with us live. Remember to share, like, and comment though, because that's important. We're gonna take that quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hi guys, I'm Kendrick Cortez Greer, personal astrologer and astrological counselor here in Brooklyn, New York. I've been an astrologer for over 23 years now, providing astrological readings, counseling sessions, workshops, and corporate events all throughout the tri-state area. I've been very blessed and lucky to have clients all throughout the United States and beyond. If you're interested in a reading that is warm, heartfelt, honest, and conducive to speaking to one of your best friends, please contact me at 917-863-7528. You can also email me at kendrickstar@gmail.com. That's Kendrick, STAR, @gmail.com. And for you Insta people, find me on Instagram at Kendrick Cortez Astrology. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Toodles.
Hello, my name is Nick Rafter, journalist, writer, editor. I'm happy to be offering copy editing and line editing services at competitive industry rates. If you have a book or any document that needs to be edited and thoroughly looked through, please contact me at nickrafter@gmail.com. Let's discuss how to get that work done. That's Nick Rafter, NICKRAFTER, @gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kitty Foss.
And I'm Amy J.
And we're Intuition of the Soul. We are a Facebook and YouTube group that has created a sacred spiritual place to look at your spiritual practices.
And there's too much to tell you about what we do, but let me tell you, we have weekly activities, we have monthly activities, and you are not going to want to miss our spiritual practitioner series. So join us on Intuition of the Soul.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I have my two amazing hosts from Intuition of the Soul, Amy and Kitty here. And remember, share, like, and comment. Now, during the commercial break, we were chatting about what we wanted to do in this last segment, and we came to the conclusion that we want to give some insight. So Amy's going to provide some insight, whether it's through a card or her intuition or a combination of both. And I have a feeling it's a combination of both. So go ahead, Amy.
All right. So let's get some insight for the week here. What we need to know to get us through this week. Okay. All right. So the first card I got was number 49, Family, Circles of Life. And I kind of talked about this in the vibe of the week, that family, there's a generational piece. There's a karmic piece that's coming through. And again, that's kind of some of that stuff that you're stopping on, that slip and slide, that resistance a little bit. There might be some clearing that needs to come through. All right. So that's what this feels like. But again, if you look at this picture, it's beautiful. They're in the sunshine. There's the light there. This isn't a picture of fear of going into looking at releases of karmic or even generational. I really feel like that was a big thing. Generational, like may have been passed on to you from your mother, from your mother's mother, you know, that kind of thing that you might question, like, why am I still believing that or holding on to that? Or do I still believe that? And if not, what do I believe? So Kitty said it so beautifully earlier, to get rid of things that no longer serve us, to open spaces for what we want to put in there. And again, that's up to you. And it's beautiful if you think about that. You've got kind of like a clean slate, or you're cleaning that slate. And so you can bring those things in that you really want to see for yourself and for others in this new year. And I got the next card is 25, Passion, Love for Life. And that's what I'm feeling right there, is that clean slate can be filled with whatever whatever you want it to be, whatever your passion is, wherever your heart is calling to you to put into your life once you free up those spaces. And I just feel a lot of passion this year, and really what makes your heart like on fire, because there's a lot of red and orange and yellow there. So what lights up your heart that you want to bring in? Okay. And as Kitty said, she was talking about this earlier, signs. Okay. So here's a little sign. So watch for those signs, because you're going to get those synchronicities. You're going to get those signs. You're going to get those inspired ideas that are going to like hit you and you go, where did that come from? That's an amazing idea. But you have to be in the right space for those inspired ideas and those synchronicities and signs. You have to be aware of them, but you also have to be in the right vibration to let them come in, to let them imprint what they want on your heart and have that passion come through. So that's I'm excited about this year. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited about this year. I think it's just going to be great. And I'm ready to get past January and maybe to go, because it's been a little stop and go. But exactly. I'm really excited about it.
I love that, Amy. I love those cards. I love the colors. I love the energy. I love the fact that based on the week that we're coming into, it's just going to really be a fantastic week. And I believe we are moving into more flow, more action, more allowing our creativity to go where it needs to go. So thank you for that amazing, amazing insight for us. Kitty, what do we have in store for our astrology for this week?
Just starting today, we have an internal conversation today. It's really about who you are and what you want. And then tomorrow night when you go to bed, really think about setting that intention for your dreams. What changes, what structures do you want to see? Because we have Mars moving into Capricorn. So what bigger picture, and ask to be brought forth in your dreams, because when Tuesday, the 25th, is a day of intuitive hits. It will be a day where things will be coming to you. Psychic energies are open. They're to activate your internal reactions, to really pay attention. So put a big star on the 25th, guys. Maybe Joanne, you can tell me what that is numerology wise.
What was the number?
It's the 25th of January. That's Tuesday.
Yes.
Because we move on in the 26th, because we're going to have activated new structures where appropriate, and we'll have a better idea where appropriately to put that information. It's an emotional week, though. There will be currents underneath the surface, but you'll be all right to get to them if you can put yourself in that observer, make the space to put in what you want. And your individualism is revealed this week. There are certain things you are going to step much more directly into to get ready to slide on through. And on the 29th, Venus goes direct.
Awesome. So in regards to the question that Kitty was asking about the numerology based on the number of January 25th, 2022, that overall energy is a 5, which is all about change, freedom, unpredictability, having fun. That's the most important part of this, is you got to have fun with the changes that you're going to be enduring. And even more important, you got to be courageous enough to make the changes, because if you're expecting change to happen, but you're sitting in that fear or worry, you're not going to take that step forward. So it's really, really important. And allow yourself to slide into first base. Why not? Slide into first base, slide into second base, wherever you have to go to slide, allow that action to take place. And in regards just to the 25 is a 7. So that particular day itself on January 25th, it may be a really good day for you to take a pause so you can go within and visualize, as our card of the day was focus, visualize what you would like to see the month of February and going forward look like for you, and start creating it. So thank you, Kitty, for that. Love it.
I pulled 5, freedom.
Oh, look at that. Perfect. Freedom. Yes, freedom. We all want freedom. Now, the big question is, are you willing to take chances to change so you can have the freedom you're looking to have? because you can't have freedom unless you're willing to take changes. Make changes rather is really the key. So excellent. I love the insight both of you gave for this week. Now, what I would like to do, usually during this part, I offer a reading to my guests, but because there's two of you and because you have a show, what I would like to do is provide some insight for your show to what's to come as you move forward with your show. Are both of you open to that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, definitely.
All right. So just going to shake up the cards as they want to fly already. And let's see what's in store for Intuition of the Souls as we move. I literally have to go and get a card because it literally flew out the deck. So hold on, people. Don't run away.
That's the message, folks.
Cross the room.
Flying.
With energy.
Literally have to fly. All right, we're going to love this. So our card is new relationships. So what I get from that is a couple of things. Both of you have new programs coming, new courses coming in together and then individually. So you're going to be creating some new relationships with those courses. So right off the back, know you have new people coming in, taking on the courses that you were both teaching. And also as together in your actual group, there'll be a lot of new relationships showing up. So that's a fun thing. Also on an individual level for both of you, the new relationship you have with yourself. You know, all that you've learned in the past year, 2 years, 3 years about yourself. So that new relationship you have with yourself. Now, it's very important to get grounded while this takes place, because anytime there's new happening, sometimes it becomes a little overwhelming. So we get a little distracted. So ground your energy. However that looks like for you. My easiest grounding is stepping outside into nature and just connecting with nature so you can be more focused, and that will help you to be more productive and focus in what it is you're looking to create. Your number 2 and 8. So when we look at the 2 is the partnerships that you have with each other and all the new people that are coming in. The 8 is the abundance. The abundance that's going to be showing up with your course. Yes, with your courses and also with your groups. Also, that 8 is about harmony and balance. And it's also about how you're going to be helping those who are coming in to really connect with their karmic cycles. 2 and 8 is 10. So it's a new beginning. And it's also, when we think about astrology, it's the 10th house, which is the work that the both of you are doing to help others to do. So how does that sound?
I love it.
I do too. You know, it's so funny because we have a thing about karmic releases as one of the classes we're going to be talking about. And 8 is an important number for both of us anyway. 8th house energy, 8, you know, and so that's we're always growing to it, Intuition of the Soul. So that makes perfect sense. We're always looking for the next thing that we're going to do and to bring people together. So
perfect.
And the 10th house is a very important house for me personally this year. And it's in my, career, and it's my sun sign, it's in Taurus and all that. So yeah, that really resonates with
I think
me.
we have many things that are the same in the 10th house, Amy and I. So yeah. That is the house of advancement.
Excellent. And it doesn't surprise me that you would both have so much in the 10th house. You're working together.
Yes.
And what makes it so interesting is I get to witness the two of you doing what you do. So, and I always enjoy witnessing people coming into who they are and growing and transforming, because who the two of you were when I first met you and who you are now and who you're becoming, very different people. So I get to witness that, and I appreciate that. So thank you.
Well, and we appreciate you, Joanne, because you've become part of the journey, not only because of your presentation, the things that you participate. This is a mutual, we're all walking this group together. So yes, that is really important.
That is so true. So with that being said, again, we have our final commercial break with the three of us together. So Kitty, let them know how you both can be reached.
intuitionofthesoul11@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at Intuition of the Soul. There's both a private group, which is free to join. That's where all the programs happen. There's a public page, and we're also Intuition of the Soul on YouTube. And that's where we have our library, our Olika of presenters and information that you can have. And Olika is the divine library. So that's what it is. So
Divine knowledge. Yes.
Divine knowledge.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So with all that being said, we will be taking a commercial break and I will be coming back to give you the conclusion of today's show. Amy and Kitty, thank you so much for being here and sharing your insight, brilliance, and wisdom with all of us. And I'm sure I'm going to have the two of them back on again soon. So with that being said, we're going to take that quick commercial break.
Thank you, Joanne, for this opportunity. Bye.
Aloha, bye. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lisa Nice, and I'm an independent beauty consultant for Mary Kay. I'm also a single mom of 5 and a physical therapist, so I love Mary Kay because it fits so nicely into my lifestyle. New year, new you. I'm looking for 15 faces, and it's a free either facial or a glam look. You get free samples, and you get entered to win a $200 beautiful Kate Spade bag. So if anything about this commercial has interested you, like number 1, the opportunity, number 2, be a face. So call me, 908-546-0266. Try it, you're gonna love it.
Have you had COVID, the jab, booster, taking weekly tests, or been around anyone who has? Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, the owner of Holistic Fitness located in Queens, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Stack. I would love to help you restore your immune system with Chakra Balance Reiki. I'm currently offering 3 and 6 month prescription plans. All sessions are available virtually and on site. To find out which plan best suits you, text 646-236-9155. I do look forward to helping you restore your immune system and getting onto the road of recovery. Hello, hello, and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. And remember to share, like, and comment on the remaining portion of today's show. You missed an amazing show. I have 2 amazing guests on today, both the host of Intuition of the Soul, Kitty and Amy. You definitely want to go and watch and check them out because they have amazing programs that they offer all week long. And you're going to watch this here, right here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and on demand on Roku. So you have 4 platforms you can find this show on. So please go ahead and do that. Now, for those of you who would like to know who's going to be here next week, which is actually not next week because I won't be here next week. Next week I will be off because, as I said earlier, I never know how to clone myself that I could be in 2 places at the same time. But I will be back here the first Sunday in February. So next week I'll be off. And I will have a guest who's been on my show more times than I can count, which will be Gabriella. I screw up her last name, so I won't even say it. And she and I will be having an amazing conversation regarding all that's going on in the world, such as the virus, et cetera, et cetera. So stay tuned for that. And some promos, some announcements that I love to make, as again, Intuition of the Soul with Kitty and Amy, who were just on here today. They have amazing programs that they do all week long. For example, right before the show, they have Vibe of the Week at, I believe, 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time. So you definitely want to catch that. And then on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, they have this amazing group where they do spirit communications. They break us up in individual groups, individual rooms, I think they call it. And we do one-on-one readings, and then we come back together, and then we do group readings. So it's a lot of fun. They have other things going on as well. They both have individual courses going on, so check them out. And we also have The Author's Porch by CJ Ives Lopez. She's the podcast host and also the publisher of the magazine. You can get the magazine on Amazon, which is The Author's Porch. They already have 3 issues out. Feel free to get all 3 of them. And I'm one of the columnists, so you definitely want to get that. And last but not least, I have an amazing special going on every Thursday. It's Are You at a Crossroad? 15-minute readings for $44. Every Thursday, I have 3 slots available. If that's something you would like to take advantage of, feel free to email healingwithin76@gmail.com to get yourself on my calendar for one of those slots on Thursdays. With all that being said, I think there might be one more. Yes, one more. Spirit Messages by Joe Monkman. Now, he took a little break, and he's coming back as of February, except he's doing things a little differently. He's going to be meeting once a month, the first Tuesday of the month at 8 p.m. It will be him, and he'll be bringing on a guest. So tune in for that as well. The information is there. Connect with him. There's a lot of fun things that's going on. And as always, please connect with me and come join me tonight. There's no flyer for this, so write it down if need be. You can join me tonight on all the platforms again, Facebook, Twitter, and also YouTube under Holistic Fitness Barry Cologne, as I will be talking about the cosmic energy forecast for this week. So join me tonight. I give a whole breakdown of all the astrological signs so you'll know what's going on for you. All that being said, I will miss you next week. I'll be back the following. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye for now.